Hey everybody, it's Matt with Deer and Donuts, and today I want to take you guys all the way out to the Montana wilderness. Now, for those of you that are new to this page and don't know, that's kind of where our YouTube channel got its start. We went on a spring bear hunt to Montana and realized, man, this is really daunting and overwhelming, and I can't imagine how intimidating it would be if you didn't have some of the knowledge and skills to plan a hunt like this or have the confidence to pull it off. So we decided we're going to start shooting some YouTube videos, make hunting a little bit more accessible hobby so that hopefully we can encourage some people to just get out there and give it a try. You get some amazing experiences that you can't get really any other way. So like I said, we decided probably about halfway through day one we were going to give this a try. We don't have the greatest equipment, and the weather was terrible, so we didn't get to pull our cameras out that often throughout this trip. It's not going to be a lot of videos of us hunting. It's going to be more of a vlog journal style entry. Now through that, you are going to get to see kind of what the experience of Montana bear hunting is like. So I encourage you to stay tuned. Don't maybe cash out just because there's not a lot of video of us hunting. Now, this video is mostly going to be about our experiences in Montana. You can kind of consider it a review of Montana spring bear season, so to say. You're going to see, like I said, our experiences and a lot of the pros and cons and kind of the things we ran into throughout our trip. We're not going to go into the planning of it or why we chose Montana in this video. I want to save that for its whole separate own video and really give it the time that it's due. But without further ado, let's jump into day one. Now, the trip was the three members of the Deer and Donuts crew, myself, Tom, and Scott, but we also brought our buddy Craig. Now, Craig's not a hunter, but we kind of practice what we preach here on this channel, and he's thinking about getting into it and really just kind of wanted to see what a trip like this was about without having to carry a rifle or a tag. So you're going to see him in some of the videos. He came along and he ended up having a great time and will probably join us in future videos and trips. But we picked Tom up from the airport, drove all the way through the day and night and into the next day. It's about 19 hours from Arizona all the way up to where we hunted in Montana. And we got there, got to Missoula, had a nice little yard sale in a Walmart parking lot. When I say yard sale, I mean Tom, Scott, and Craig had to literally dump their entire packs and probably do a ton of repacking. And we had gear spread across about 5 spots in the Missoula Walmart. So if you saw us, that's what was going on. None of that stuff was for sale, but it looked a lot like a yard sale. From there, we drove a little bit more to the trailhead, and that was the point it started raining. Hadn't rained through our entire drive. Hadn't rained while we were at the Walmart, anything. As soon as we got to the trailhead, it started to rain, and it poured on us the rest of the hike in. We hiked about 4 miles-ish that night, and it never stopped raining once. It was just a saturating rain. It was super cold, and about 8 o'clock, we couldn't go any further and just made camp on the side of a mountain. And when I say the side of a mountain, I mean, it was probably angled like this. It was terrible sleeping. But that was what we had to deal with. And I'll let Scott kind of take it from here on his first journal entry.
Day one. Morale is low.
We've lost a few good ones.
It's cold. It has rained on us. It didn't rain until we literally hit the trailhead, and then it's rained nonstop. And me and Craig are just hanging out in the tent in the rain.
Eating jujubes.
Yeah, jujubes at 8 o'clock at night.
Now, obviously, you could hear the rain in the background of Scott's video, and that became just a reoccurring theme throughout the trip. It was just constantly raining on us. But the next morning, we woke up. Surprisingly, no rain. Our gear was soaked. Everything was soaked. It was still a little bit miserable. Well, we looked to another ridgeline and thought we saw a bear. Now, it didn't end up being a bear. It just ended up being a burned out stump that was very bear-like in resemblance. But it was still something that was super cool for us. And it's a trip that we've been looking forward to for a very long time. So you can see spirits are a little bit high just because we're out there and we're enjoying nature.
Day two. Spirits are high after a night spent sleeping in the Montanan wilderness under the rain.
That's a lie.
We think we see a bear over there, but it's not a bear. It's a stump. Off to a good start.
From there, we still had to get where we were actually hunting. We still had about 3 miles to go and had a pretty much uphill climb from there. We hiked down, tried to get to one spot, and realized the bridge that we were going to use to cross a river was completely washed out. So we had to adapt, go to plan B. It's really important to have other plans. Don't just have one plan, and if that falls through, then you're done. We had a plan B, C, D. I think we even had a plan E. So we went to our plan B, started hiking up the mountain, and ran into our other big nemesis for the trip, and that's blowdowns. Bunch of dead trees that have just fallen over from the wind, and they end up crisscrossed and maze-like, and you got to climb over them, climb under them, climb through them. It's a real pain. So that's kind of what we're dealing with in that next video. All right, it's day 2. Coming up on noon. Blowdown Central. How are we feeling about our feelings, boys?
Good. Better than yesterday. Yeah, I can see the ridge line. So.
Yeah. Scott's somewhere off behind that tree, relieving himself of some mashed potatoes. We probably got about a mile left till the top. Once we made it through the blowdowns, we just kept working our way uphill and finally made it to one of the spots that we wanted to glass from. And that's what you're going to see in this next video. Giant ridgeline we set up camp on and decided to make our home for 2 days. Now, as with a lot of Montana this spring, it was pretty covered in snow. Montana had a super late spring in 2022, and that was something we had to deal with throughout the trip. But you'll kind of see what Craig thinks of this new adventure that he's getting into and how excited he is about it, as well as see some of Tom's sarcastic humor. So I hope you enjoy this next one.
Winding down day 2. There we go. How you feeling?
A little defeated right now, but hopefully the weather will turn around tomorrow.
Only slightly better than yesterday.
Morale's high. How you feeling, Craig?
Why?
The people want to know, Craig.
Got our packs all situated. Found a nice little pine tree that is honestly nice and dry, and depending on how they do tonight, me and Craig might move our camp over here.
We might move our camp over here, you're correct.
Got the guns up against the tree.
Depending on how things look.
Got packs all taken care of and buttoned up. Food pulled out. I don't know, Craig. How are you feeling day 2?
Awesome.
All right. Well, just gonna walk on over to this ledge here and show everyone our view from the camp. A little bit of dead timber, but just past that you can see that amazing skyline.
This is how awesome I'm feeling. Style my hair for you.
Day 3 was somewhat eventful, but again, light on the videos, and I want to apologize for that. Like I said, we were still fairly new to our decision to make a YouTube channel, had done zero looking into it, and weren't really equipped correctly to do it. Like I said, we just had 3 cell phone cameras, and that's why you have the vertical video, not the nice full screen. Had no idea what we were doing, just wanted to take you guys along for the ride. So I promise from here on out, our hunts will get better. We'll get better at our skills and better at our equipment, so you can expect them to increase in quality. It rained on us all night 2, and we weren't expecting it necessarily. Most of our stuff was covered, but all of our gear still got wet again. It's a reoccurring theme throughout this trip, like I said. So we had to battle that when we woke up in the morning. We also had to battle finding a water source. Now, as you saw, there was a bunch of snow up on that ridge that was not supposed to be there that time of year. And the water source that we were planning on using wasn't there because there hadn't been enough snow melt. So we had to get creative, and Scott was excellent at that. made a fire up on top of the mountain, used our Jetboil pans, put snow in it, melted it, and then dumped it in the filter. And while it's not hunting related, it's a memory I'll never forget because it doesn't really get much more outdoors than that. From there, we moved just a little bit, tried to do some glassing. I will acknowledge before anyone jumps in the comments and roasts us, we don't have orange on. If you look in the video, all of our orange is sitting right next to us. Like I said, we got soaked and it had rained again that day 3. And that soaked through cloth was just robbing us of body heat. So you'll see it's right next to us, displayed so everyone can see we're there. We're just trying to dry it out. Now, like I said, we did do some glassing, found mule deer. Tom found some elk up on a ridge line, probably about 2,000 yards away. Super cool stuff. But for me, the highlight was I found what is apparently the only grizzly bear in the area about 3 miles away. Now, if you have looked at my review on my Vortex Razor 18 power binos, you know that I'm a big fan of them, and I think those really helped me be able to reach out there a ways because no one else saw the bear. You'll see in the video, Scott alludes to me being a big liar. I promise you, I wouldn't lie to you guys. There was legitimately a grizzly bear, and it was super cool for me.
Okay, day 3. We glassed a bunch. We made a fire, and we used that to melt snow to refill our bladders. Now we're all glad. Matt says he saw stuff, but no one believes him. Tom's keeping a really positive attitude about everything. Greg's just gonna be in Greg and going with the flow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, yeah, because I've done them all.
Okay, I have.
Captain's log, day 4. Morale's higher.
Morale is higher.
We spent a day of glassing. We've seen...
It is day 3, though.
All right, since someone else can't remember what day it is, it's the end of day 3. It's our first day with actually decent weather. Had some sun today, which was really nice. Got warm. Had to melt a bunch of snow for drinking water. Scott came in clutch with a fire there. We saw a lot of animals. Nothing we were looking for with a black bear, but we saw quite a few mule deer, some elk, and a grizzly bear, which was super cool to see. We saw a bald eagle, a vulture, a whole bunch of stuff.
A hummingbird.
Hummingbird. This gentleman right here was attacked.
Accosted, one might say. But I survived.
You got sunburns?
I'm a survivor.
These two are just out enjoying nature.
Sunburns?
Minus the animals?
Yeah, have yet to see even an animal through any sort of optic.
When we do.
Yeah, they'll be ready. So around and find out if they see anything. I hope you enjoyed that double journal entry. Obviously mine is the end of day 3, not that midpoint that Scott was doing. And we were up at camp. It's just kind of an overview of what happened that day, a recap, if you will. Now, obviously, Tom acknowledges that he was attacked by a hummingbird. I can't confirm or deny that. All I heard was a girlish scream from behind me and him screaming about something green attacking him. This may be like the grizzly bear where I saw it. I know I saw it, and no one can tell me otherwise. But I never saw anything attack him. And I don't think we can discount that Tom is potentially losing it as he is trapped in the Montana wilderness for days on end. Now this next video will be the morning of day 4, and shocker, it's raining again. It is the morning of day 4. We're having fun here. It is raining again. I realized the most useless piece of gear I brought is my sunglasses because it's rain. It's been sunny for about 6 minutes. We're out glassing in. Got this whole hillside down into this basin. I've seen absolutely nothing. We're considering going way over here later in the day. But we're really hoping this weather improves. So we actually do decide to move to that point that's way out there. which means we got to climb all the way down, all the way back through those blowdowns and stream crossings and everything we did to get up there just to make it to our next point. These next two videos you'll see is our experience on the hike down, and it turned into a little bit more of a debacle than we thought it was going to. Took way more time, and that is something that I can't stress enough about these Western hunts. The amount of time that you think it's going to take you to get someplace, probably double it. That is what I've learned. And even then, that might still not be enough time. So these next two videos are kind of our frustration with this hike down. Well, it's the middle of day 4. The sun finally came out, but of course it's while we're hiking. We're trying to get to another spot, probably about 3 miles away. As you can see behind me, it's slow going right now. There's a lot of blowdowns. So we've seen a lot of bear sign in here. No bears. Still day 4. Things are rough. I think it's probably a good thing to show that's not all the fun of chasing a bugling bull or finding a bear. Right now things are a little hard to get through. Down with you, what's your motivation level looking like? 1 to 10.
Motivation level 1 to 10 is about a 3, but I love you guys, and if it wasn't for you, I'd be dead up there. So.
Craig?
3.1.
That's generous. I'm probably at 2. What about you, Scott?
I'm just here to party.
Scott's just here to party. Craig just gave an interesting question that what would we do without the blowdowns or the rain if we could eliminate one thing on this trip? It was split 2 to 2, so that tells you how rough each of those were. But we're just going to keep pushing. In this next video, we've made it back to the truck, finally. It was a great sight to finally see because that was a really hard hike down. Now, I know you guys are going to be absolutely shocked and not expecting this next bit of news, but we got poured on again during our hike down. And what you'll see is probably the aftermath of that. We had to do another yard sale to dry everything out that got soaked. And through that, we kind of realized we're on a tight timeline. Tom has to make his flights, so we're very locked in on what we can do. We're probably not going to make it to our next spot. So we said, you know what? We're not done enjoying ourselves. We're still going to glass from here. There was a ton of country to be seen, and we're going to sit here and really enjoy ourselves at this campsite. We ended up meeting a nice family from Montana, and the gentleman was actually nice enough to lend us his horses if we end up finding a bear, and helped us glass. So you never know who you're going to meet out there. Like I said, a lot of people are mean girls when it comes to hunting world, but you will meet some of the greatest people that you will probably meet anywhere in this world by just getting outdoors. And I cannot recommend it enough. It's an experience with that family that I will never forget, and I am forever grateful for. All right, everybody, as you can see, we finally made it back to the truck. We got a heck of a yard sale going on right now, but it's good to be back. We have one more day. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that our bodies are gonna handle one more hike out and back into the truck. So we're gonna become the dreaded road hunters. A lot of ground to glass here. So we're gonna enjoy our last night here, do a little glassing, see what we can turn up, and we'll go from there. So that wraps up our vlog journal entries from our spring bear hunt in Montana. We probably should have shot one last one to let you guys know that. But again, that's on us. I promise the quality of this content will improve over time. Now, I hope this motivated you guys to just have the confidence to get out there and give this a try. There's one thing I can impress upon you guys, it's get out there and make these memories with your friends, family, or even solo if that's all you have. You will not regret it. This trip and these memories are something I will cherish for the rest of my life. It was one of the better times I've had in my life. And I cannot thank the 3 guys that decided to come with me enough, because like I said, these are memories I will cherish for my entire life. Now, if this is your first time to our YouTube channel, I encourage you to poke around, maybe pick up some of the skills and knowledge that you need to feel a little bit more comfortable to get out there. And I hope that you hit the subscribe button, maybe hit the bell, get some notifications. It really lets us know that we are heading this channel in the right direction for what you guys are looking for. Also, jump over to our Instagram page. Tom's doing a great job, posts pretty much daily shots and videos from our hunts, and I think that's something you guys will enjoy as well. I hope you guys are able to get out to the outdoors soon.